comes Flagg and throwing it down.
Thing is just said, his Flagg responds to that, wants the criticism, and boy, is he off to some kind of start here tonight.
March Madness is underway, and some of the faces that will go on to define the league in coming years will be doing what they can to not only help their respective teams fight for a national championship, but also help their own draft stock. Today, we are going to break down 5 players to keep an eye on through the tournament and get a feel for their game, as they are just months away from taking over the NBA. Up first should not come as a shock to anyone. The player that everyone should be watching during the tournament is Cooper Flagg. While it is still a bit up in the air which team will end up having the first overall pick come draft day, one thing is for sure. They will be using the pick to select Flagg. He is arguably the most pro-ready player in the entire draft, with a very respectable 6 feet 9 inches, 205 pounds frame, an ideal size for a small forward. Flagg came into this season as the #1 prospect of the 2024 recruiting class, and thus far, he has done more than live up to the hype. He has confirmed himself as the best player in all of college basketball, and there is no doubt that he will be the first player off of the board come draft day, no matter how March Madness plays out for him and his Duke Blue Devils. Thus far, he is averaging 18.9 points, 7.5 rebounds, 4.1 assists, 1.5 steals, and 1.3 blocks per game, while shooting a very respectable 48.8% from the field, 36.8% from 3, and 83.0% from the free throw line. He earned spots on the ACC All-Freshman, ACC All-Defense, and All-ACC teams. Along with this, he also took home the ACC Rookie of the Year and ACC Player of the Year awards. The craziest part about this is that Flagg is still only 18 years old. There's plenty to love about Flagg's game. He's an incredible scorer both inside and out. Flagg is a player who is very dangerous around the rim and also a very talented outside shooter. On the defensive side of the ball, he is very well-rounded as well. His build allows him to hold his own against almost anyone that he matches up against. While he is at his best when he is guarding other forwards, he has the length and speed necessary to slow down opposing guard, and the strength to keep larger bigs away from the basket. There's not too much that you can negatively say about his skill set. Flagg does leave a little bit to be desired in terms of ball handling, however. Outside of a few cases in the NBA, more times than not, a guard will be the primary ball handler in the offense rather than a forward like Flagg. Along with this, he still is a big thin, which is nothing outside of the norm for an 18-year-old coming into the league, and after a few years with an NBA strength team, he will undoubtedly be at an ideal size. Some scouts have already gone as far as comparing him to Hall of Famers like Scottie Pippen, and it is easy to see why. Like Pippen, Flagg is extremely well suited to do anything his team asks of him on both sides of the ball, and there is not an area of the game in which he particularly struggles. It will be interesting to see how he performs in the tournament, as he is coming off of a brutal ankle injury in the ACC tournament that left many wondering if he would be able to suit up for March Madness. All signs are pointing towards him suiting up with his team, but it will be interesting to see if he is still the same player he proved himself to be throughout the season and performing at the elite level that has come to be expected from him. Another player to keep an eye on through the tournament is VJ Edgecombe. Edgecombe is a 6'4" guard from the Bahamas who is currently projected to be a top 5 pick in this year's draft. He has had a very strong showing so far this season, averaging 15.0 points, 5.6 rebounds, 3.3 assists, and 2.1 steals per game, while shooting 43.5% from the field, 34.5% from 3, and 77.9% from the free throw line. He was named to the Big 12 All-Freshman team, the All-Big 12 team, and he also took home the conference's Rookie of the Year award. Edgecombe is one of the most exciting players to watch from this year's draft class. He is extremely athletic with otherworldly leaping ability. Edgecombe is a walking bucket who plays with extremely high energy that keeps fans and common viewers alike on the edge of their seats whenever he has the ball in his hands. Along with this, he keeps this energy up on the defensive side of the ball and is a very pesky on-ball defender on the perimeter. He has a very good size for a guard, and while he is still a bit undersized to play the 3 on most teams in the NBA, he is more than capable of sliding over to the shooting guard position. While he is truly dangerous around the rim, he still has some room for growth as a shooter, and this could be something that holds him back at the next level if he is unable to improve. However, it is very promising that he is already a talented mid-range shooter, and he has the shooting form necessary to be an, at worst, league average shooter from deep with a little bit of work. Due to his immense amount of potential paired with his frame, athletic ability, and energy, scouts are unsurprisingly very high on Edgecombe, with some already comparing him to players like Russell Westbrook. He will have to show up in a big way for his Baylor Bears in the tournament, with the team entering the tournament as a 9th seed. Now let's move on to another guard, Kasparas Jakusionis from Illinois. He stands at 6 feet 6 inches and coming into the season was flying a bit under the radar. However, he has taken college basketball by storm and likely will continue to ascend teams' draft boards through the tournament. Thus far, he has averaged 15.0 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 4.6 assists per game while shooting 44.8% from the field, 32.9% from three, and 84.1% from the charity stripe. Jakusionis was named to the All-Big Ten team along with the conference's All-Freshman team. Some scouts are projecting him to be a top 5 pick, while others believe he will be selected towards the tail end of the lottery. This is why it is so important to keep an eye on him through March Madness. The fact that him being a top 5 pick in this year's draft could fringe on his performance through the tournament is likely not lost on him, and as a result of this, he will be playing some of his best basketball of the season. He has size for the guard position that you simply cannot teach. While he does struggle a bit on the defensive side of the ball, he can score with the best of them, and even though he may be a bit of a project player, if he is drafted into the right system, there is no doubt that he will be a problem on the next level. We will go back to Duke and take a look at Kon Knuppel. Knuppel is one of the best scorers in all of college basketball and arguably the best three-point shooter in the entire country. He has averaged 14.4 points, 4.0 rebounds, and 2.7 assists per game while shooting 47.2% from the field, 39.2% from three, and 91.4% from the free throw line, leading the country in this metric. This has earned him a spot on the ACC All-Freshman team and the All-ACC team. He played some of his best basketball of the season during the ACC tournament, where he was named to the All-Tournament team along with taking home the tournament MVP award. Along with his elite shooting ability, Knuppel has elite size, standing at 6 feet 7 inches. This allows him to play both the shooting guard and small forward positions. While he is a bit slim and a bit limited athletically, making him a liability at times on the defensive side of the ball, it is difficult to find a better scorer than him in the country. Some scouts have compared him to Jared Dudley, and there is a strong chance that he exceeds these expectations. While his chance to shine has been limited a bit with Cooper Flagg being the best player in the country, he has proved that he still is an elite talent and is able to carve out a role for himself. A very valuable trait for a young player coming into the NBA. There's a strong chance that there will be plenty of opportunities to see Knuppel thrive in the tournament, with Duke being the odds-on favorite to win it all. Rounding out the list is another freshman from Duke, Kaman Maluach. This big man from South Sudan rounds out Duke's big three of likely first-round picks. Maluach is another player for the Blue Devils who has struggled to really get a chance to show his full talents with all of the talent that surrounds him. However, he still has been able to establish himself as one of the best shot blockers and rim defenders in all of college basketball. He currently averages 8.3 points, 6.8 rebounds, and 1.2 blocks per game while shooting 68.3% from the field. He was named to the ACC All-Freshman along with the All-ACC tournament team. While he has not been too much of a threat on the offensive side of the ball, this comes as a result of his traditional game for a big. He thrives around the basket on both sides of the ball, mainly scoring off of layups, dunks, and lobs on offense. While on defense, he is an elite shot blocker who makes it extremely difficult for opposing teams to get anything going inside. Maluach is currently projected to go just outside of the lottery, but if he is able to put up a stellar run during the tournament, he could easily sneak his way into the lottery. What do you think? Will these 5 players be a top 5 draft pick? Do you think Cooper Flagg will live up to expectations? Let us know in the comments, and be sure to like and subscribe so you can tune in for the next video.